From conversations to the natural world to complete silence, so many of us focus on what's next rather than what is happening now. I'm Listening is a podcast that dissects the importance of listening.
I'm Drew Richmond.
And I'm Bran Christofferson.
And this is I'm Listening, a podcast simply about the skill of listening.
Recently, I was, got the kids home for the summer and talking with my 8-year-old about sound. There are frequencies that are really high that kids can hear with their younger ears, but adults, lose hearing over time as you age. And a lot of times adults cannot hear those very high tones. And
tones like I'm hungry. I need a snack.
The whining tone, I hate that tone.
She hurt me. Like that kind of tone?
Have you been listening to my conversations with my kids?
No, not at all. That was just a guess.
Yeah.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. So these are high tones, like up in the 10,000s, like 14,000 hertz, 17,000 hertz, like outside of the normal range of like a hearing test, right? So I'm like, well, of course I can't hear them. I'm older, you're younger, you can hear them. Later that day, hey, let's see if Mom can hear these. Mom could hear them.
Really?
Our friend, who's also in our same generation, could hear them. I could not hear them. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I coupled that on top of like, are you deaf? Like, can you not hear what I'm saying to you right now? Because I'm always like, what'd you say? Can you repeat that again? So I'm like, I'm freaking out going, okay, maybe I've got a problem. Maybe I've got some hearing loss. Maybe there are things I'm missing out on. So late at night, I am like online taking a hearing test.
Per usual.
Yep.
Hey, Alexa.
Yep. Can we do a hearing test? I've got like an app on my phone. I'm on my computer. I've got my earbuds in. And I am like taking 3, 4, 5 different hearing tests. Turns out I'm just fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some minor hearing loss going on, like in some of the higher tones, but nothing worth having to go see a doctor about.
Interesting. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, Brand. It's great to hear that.
Oh, but it got me thinking about like, okay, well, what happens when this does start to happen, right? Because it's one of those things I often just take for granted. That was the callback to season 1.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah.
No, that was really good.
Oh, good.
Don't take that for granted.
And I was like, man, okay, well, what do I do about this? Like, if my hearing is starting to go, what things do I start missing out on? How do I prevent that? How do I take care of it? When it does start to go, what do I do? Yeah.
Yep. Episode 8 from season 1 was also about hearing. We interviewed Doug, who had a sudden loss in hearing. He woke up one morning and poof, hearing in one of the sides of his head was gone.
They suspect that I had a virus that took down the auditory nerve.
This is different. This is we're classifying this as a little bit different to kick off this season in the sense of this is gradual hearing loss. This is what you just explained. You just explained, wait a minute. You can hear this, but I don't think I can. That's not something that you could yesterday and then today, now you can't. That is like, have I lost this sense of hearing or this ability to hear these tones over a period of time so much that I did not even recognize that I have lost it. So just a little bit of difference there. So the nod to Doug, the nod to not taking it for granted, this is a little bit different in the sense of the impact of listening or being able to listen and hearing loss in the sense of a gradual hearing loss. What was that? Huh? What'd you say? Right? Not, and it's not to be insensitive about it, but it's that, okay, Grandma, let me explain this to you for the third time because you can't hear me, but you're also not recognizing the fact that you have hearing loss.
Yeah. So part of this is the awareness piece of, hey, my hope is that people after this would go out and just take a hearing test online. And I say online just because it's very available. It is not the most accurate. You're not going to get the same exact results you'd get from a doctor, but it's a place to start, right? It's an easy level of entry to just check out your hearing to see how it's doing, and then what do we do about it?
And then what to do about it? And one of the questions we like to lead with this podcast is why? What does it matter? Like, why does this topic matter? Who cares if I can't really hear a whole lot? Well, a lot of people do, actually. So I think that's one of the pieces of this is bringing awareness to hearing loss, how to gauge if you can hear or how well you can hear. But it's also the recognition and the awareness of others. And if every time somebody speaks to you, you respond with, huh? Or what? Or what did you say? That can have an effect on social relationships, on work relationships, on personal relationships. So it's that awareness piece, like you said, of all of this. And all we want to do is bring the value of good listening to the world. And maybe we can make a little bit of change. And maybe one or two people that are listening to this, and even if just one person did, if they went out, they did that quick online hearing test, went, oh, maybe, and then they could go to a doctor, maybe we can make this world just a little bit better place through listening.
I did this hearing test last week, and I wanted to do a hearing test on you.
Ooh.
So we're going to have you take a hearing test.
Live? Like right now?
Live. Right now. I'm gonna run a hearing test
recording?
On you while recording.
Okay.
So we're going to do basically just different tones at different hertz. So like we'll start with low tones and we'll move up to high tones. And I'm going to start at the louder level.
Okay.
And then I'm going to incrementally make it more and more quiet until you cannot hear it anymore. And then that's kind of where it's going to leave a mark.
And if I remember correctly, either at the DMV or at school, I would raise my hand if I could hear the tone. Since this is a audio format, I will simply say yes.
Yeah.
After I hear each tone.
Okay.
How does that sound? Does that work?
I think so. Yeah, that's going to work. And so you can see my screen here. So we start off with the first sound is going to be 250 hertz. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to start in the loud level up here. Okay. And I'm going to mute my microphone because you're going to turn your headphones all the way up. You ready?
To explain exactly what's happening to the listener right now, what is exactly happening is I have headphones on. Brant has headphones on because that's how we record these podcasts. Also, Brant and I can see each other, so we utilize Google. Nod to Google for helping us with this. They don't. We pay for it. Then what's going to happen is Brant is going to mute himself, and I am going to turn my volume all the way up because if that happened and Brant talked to me, I would have hearing. I would be experiencing hearing loss because Brant will blow my eardrums out because I have my volume all the way up. Brant, I'm turning all of my volume up. Please go on mute. And I am ready for this test. I am ready. Here we go. Yes. 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 Oh no. Brant, push the button. Brant, push the button. Push the button, Brant. Okay, I'm doing that right now. Here we go. All right,
yeah, I'm going to go off mute. Okay.
Okay,
so we got to this level right here.
Okay.
And
how does that make me feel?
Well, it kind of puts you in this range right here of mild hearing loss at the 250 hertz level.
Okay. Folks, I'm looking at a chart right now that says normal hearing, mild hearing loss, moderate hearing loss, or severe hearing loss. Normal hearing is, call it at 0, and severe hearing loss is 100, and I'm floating at about a 21. Yeah. 21. Yeah. Thank you. 21 at the 250 hertz level. And if you're wondering what a hertz is, please visit episode 12 of season 1.
Okay, so we're going to keep going with this. We may, and here's what I'm thinking though, is we're going to keep going with this test. So right now we're just doing the left ear. We're going through this scale.
Oh.
I know. Did you know that?
No, I didn't realize that. Okay, go on.
Okay. All right. You ready to keep going?
I am. I'm turning you up and you're muting yourself.
To speed this up a little bit, we're going to do this just over a musical overlude. Little montage format for you. Here we go.
Yes. No. No. Yes. I'm sweating.
All right. That was good. That was a left ear.
This is the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life.
Okay, we're only halfway through. That was just the left ear. So now we're going to do the right ear.
That was
just
left.
the left ear.
Oh God.
So here's your results so far on there. We've got you're just in the mild hearing loss range, which is probably average for people our age, right? Yeah.
And I'm looking at this chart, and I'm just showing. Yeah, we got spatterings in the mild, and the lowest score in the 2,000 hertz range. It is the first touch of moderate hearing loss.
Yep.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, you ready for the rest? The other ear.
Born. I'm turning up. Yes. Yes.
Still sweating.
Okay.
All right. Hey, look at that. Your right ear is different than your left ear.
100%. I could have told you that from the get-go.
Why? Because you've told me that. What?
Because I can tell that I can hear better out of my right ear than my left ear.
Okay. It wasn't something like a childhood injury of like getting whacked in the head by a baseball bat or something, or
could have been. No idea. But what I can tell now is like if I'm sleeping on my left side, I can hear the house way better than if I'm sleeping on my right side.
All right. So
this proves that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're looking at your hearing test here, the results, and you're in that mild hearing loss range. The right ear has better hearing than the left ear does. What are your thoughts or reactions to seeing this?
Just to explain this to folks, we're looking at a chart here again. It has now looks like the left ear was indicated by X's. It looks like the right ear is indicated by O's. Mm-hmm. So there is some overlap. My brain immediately goes to, how in the hell are you going to run this on a cover two? You need to make sure that you're running the ball to the right hand side if they're in a safety deep, because there is no way that they can cover this. No. And with the way that the coverage on the tight end and the wide receiver over there, you got to run it at least through the C gap.
Yeah.
On two.
Definitely a football play.
Other than that, fascinating that, again, folks, we are staring at across the top of this chart is a 250, 500, 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K. These are the hertz, the frequency, if you will, of the sound. My ears are showing that it is balanced. At least they're the exact same, my right to my left at the 4K and the 8K, still in the mild hearing loss. The differences are my right ear does hear better on pretty much everything else in that 500 to 2000 hertz. There's slight loss in the 250 hertz compared to my left ear. I know this is all very, very fascinating to you. So what does this tell me? It tells me that it confirms that I can hear. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that I face a lot of, what did you say?
Yeah.
So I think that confirms that for me. It does confirm that my right ear is operating better than my left ear for whatever the reason. And it confirms that I don't think I need to do much about this right now, but I really like knowing that it confirms what I believe.
Yeah.
Did you save your results by chance?
I did. I can pull them up.
Oh, this is fascinating.
I know.
This is fascinating.
So here's what's funny about mine. I went to go print it, and it offset my X's and O's. So we'll just have to kind of look at it, just knowing that.
Does this mean you need to run the ball to the left, or is this maybe a screenplay?
Oh, it means like half my team's not even on the field anymore.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. And folks, we will go ahead and put the link of this specific hearing test in the notes of this podcast so that you can just simply click on it and utilize this for your own enjoyment or awareness. What I'm seeing in this test is that Brant and I, at least via this test, Brant and I can hear.
Yeah, we can hear.
In the moderate to mostly normal, but in the moderate to normal range.
So our hearing range, like, is, if we're going by the decibel level here, so like your lowest is at 40 decibels for 2,000 hertz. Mine is 2,000 hertz. I'm at like 45.
Even your 8K, I'm in the mild hearing loss.
Yeah.
You would put yourself in the more moderate hearing loss.
More moderate hearing loss.
At those lower levels.
The higher levels. 8K is higher.
Higher levels, yep. Which is why you don't hear your daughters when they ask for a snack. I want a snack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's funny how different it looks too, right?
I have some overlap with my right and left hearing consistency. You don't. Your right hearing and your left hearing is all over the place.
Yeah, they're both very different, and yours are within a certain range.
Yep.
Check it out. Just went on the old internet, the old WebMD.
Oh.
So
hello, WebMD.
Hello, WebMD.
We would like to bring in Dr. MD.
Yeah.
Or is it Dr. Webb?
Dr. Webb.
Welcome, Dr. Webb, to the podcast. Mr. Webb. I'm sorry. You did not go to 7 years of doctor school to be called Mr.
What is that from?
Oh, that is Austin Powers.
Oh, yes.
I did not go to 7 years of evil school to be called Mr.
Okay, so moving up the scale.
Mr. Dr. MD, Dr. Webb.
Doctors classify hearing loss by degrees. So mild hearing loss, that's where both of us kind of fall into, it says one-on-one conversations are fine, but it's hard to catch every word when there's background noise. Could you relate to that statement?
I can. I was in an establishment the other night. There happened to be adjacent to our small table of about 6 people, all fine, a very loud group of singles. Mm-hmm. This was a singles meet and greet. Oh. It was tremendously loud.
That's funny.
Because there was so much chatter.
Yeah.
In that space, I had a very difficult time hearing, and there was definitely repeating within the group too. It wasn't just me. I would say I do not typically, unless it's very loud, I don't typically consider myself having issues in a social setting or in a like restaurant type setting.
Yeah. So, okay, moving up the scale, we're moving
Dr.
into
Webb, yes?
Dr. MD, yeah. Moving up, we've got moderate hearing loss. You often need to ask people to repeat themselves during conversations in person and on the phone.
Okay. Phone is fine. I don't think so. I think that's okay.
I do ask people to repeat themselves in person.
Okay.
It's usually, I think it has more to do with audio processing, though, than it does with my ears. But that's a whole different story.
So it's not necessarily hearing, it is processing what you've just heard.
Yeah. My brain takes the seconds and times before it catches up. Severe hearing loss is following a conversation is almost impossible unless you have a hearing aid. Okay. And then profound hearing loss, you can't hear other people speaking unless they're extremely loud. There you go.
Thank you, Dr. Webb.
So where were we?
Why does this matter? This matters because it can affect your ability to listen to others. That in itself can have an effect on performance or your effectiveness in the workplace. It can have an effect on relationships. It can have an effect on your personal life. It's sitting in the room whilst watching television. Mm-hmm. And one person in the room needs to hear the television at 65, and the other person can't hear a thing because the television is so loud.
Yeah.
It could be a deterrent to wanting to be in the same room with each other.
Yeah. Looking at the impact of what that is, right? That's not a fun spot to be in for either person. Is like, I don't want to listen to it so loud. No. And the other person's like, I don't want to not hear it.
Turn that down.
And
I don't understand why you have to have the TV up so loud all the time.
And so, yeah, again, it goes back to what you were saying, like it affects the quality of our social interactions. It also impacts, I don't know, our lives when it comes to, yeah, quality, but also safety or learning or experiencing the world around us. You had mentioned earlier, oh, when I took my hearing test, like at the DMV or when I was a kid in school, they have hearing tests there for a reason. If you are not able to hear a car honking at you, that could be a risk situation. If you can't hear what's happening in the classroom, that can impact your learning. So there are bigger impacts here. So it is important to kind of know where you're at to know what to do about it.
Correct. And I appreciate the school system helping out with that piece of it. And I do appreciate the Department of Motor Vehicles confirming that for us, even though the span is quite some time, but at least it gives you a touch point. Because yes, the sirens, the honking, the whatever it is, that's important to be able to hear when you're in your vehicle, when you're driving. The whole school thing and going through that is you don't know what you don't know. And I think having these baseline tests and even having this discussion now maybe helps people kind of fill the gap of the next time they would need to have a baseline test. This kind of reminded me of, I coached Little League for a little bit, and I didn't do this at all, but I learned about it later on, and I wish I would have done it. Some of the better coaches that are out there in the Little League world, the first thing they do when they start like practice number 1 or practice number 2, when you're really getting into how to hit a baseball, the first thing they do is an eye test. Just a very simple, they print out the chart, they hold it out. Can the kids even see the ball? At what point can the kids even see the ball?
Yeah.
If you can't see the ball, it doesn't matter if your elbows are up or your elbows are down, or if you twist your hips or if you step into it, or what, it doesn't matter where you grip the bat. It doesn't matter if they can't see the baseball coming at them.
Yeah.
So in theory, the school's catching some of that too. But I just found that fascinating. So I think that awareness piece of let's make sure you can actually see the baseball before I even think about teaching you how to hit the baseball is kind of in this same realm of, if you're struggling with hearing or you don't even know that you are, take a test and see if it is something that, oh crap, I didn't even know that I couldn't see the ball, or I didn't even know that I had a hearing issue in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I need to work on that. I need to be able to see the ball before I can hit the ball.
Having a baseline and knowing where you're at, I think, is important. And there's that unawareness piece to it. It's like, I didn't know. I couldn't do that. It's like, I remember getting glasses when I was in middle school, being like, oh, that's what the board looks like. I had no idea.
I went through the same thing. I've never needed glasses. And all of a sudden, I didn't know that I needed readers until a situation occurred where I put on literally prop reading glasses for a costume and put my gloves on and went, oh crap. This is like an ultra high definition now. How long has it been since I haven't been able to see up close?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Obviously, never to the point. It wasn't a thing that I woke up one morning and went, oh my gosh, I can't see up close anymore. It was something that gradually happened. I didn't even recognize it until it was corrected. And then I went, oh crap, look at that. And now I've been able to correct it, and I buy glasses and I can read and see my phone and do all of the things.
So we talked about that it's gradual. It is good to go ahead and figure out what your baseline is, especially if you think you're having symptoms of this. So what do we do about it after that? Now you know that you are in the mild to moderate hearing loss level. What are you going to do about it, if anything?
Yeah, the classic line of denial ain't just a river in Egypt, right? So I think accepting the fact that this is a real thing, and that this is having a negative effect on relationship, workplace, what have you, you can do something about it. You can go talk to your doctor. They may prescribe or recommend that you get hearing aids, and you can go get little apparati. There's a million different varieties that you can stick in your ear, and it will help you with your hearing loss. That, in my experience, has been a very large step for some people. But like most things, once you take that step and you can start to hear, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And I was even thinking of that's to that end of like, okay, I'm going to need to use this physical device. But I think there's other pieces too of like knowing, okay, it's hard for me sometimes to have these one-on-one conversations in a busy place, in a loud place. I'm going to try and prepare or plan to not have those conversations in those loud places, right?
Yeah, like having if you need to go have a conversation, you know you're going to struggle with the hearing. Don't go to a restaurant or a cafe where there's loud clinking noises everywhere and I can't hear anything.
The other thing I was thinking of too is just like, I don't know, not causing any more damage to my ears like I did when I was younger and would listen to really loud music all the time, to the point where I'd get like nosebleeds or...
I don't mean to laugh.
No, I love loud music. But it definitely, after a night of listening to loud music and my ears are ringing, I did some damage to my ears. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. Putting on headphones or ear plugs or something to that extent when mowing the lawn or running a chainsaw or doing something, even though it might not be a loud rock concert, just those dull, constant, louder noises that don't necessarily cause you to go, oh my gosh, my ears. But doing that repeatedly, take some precautionary measures. Put in earplugs or put on headphones of some sort and protect your ears. I like playing the drums. I don't do it without some sort of ear protection.
Yeah, I've got some big earmuffs that I'll wear when I'm out mowing the lawn or doing any kind of work with like a louder motor. Like I can tolerate it, no problem, but over time it does do damage to the ears. How about concerts? Do you still go to concerts? Saying like I'm fucking old.
Concerts.
You go to concerts.
I love concerts. It's one of my favorite things to do ever, and it cannot get loud enough.
Okay, can't get loud enough. But there are people that go to concerts now and will wear earplugs.
Yes. And I appreciate their efforts.
But you're not going there.
Was that a nice way of saying it?
I think so. I mean, you could say the same thing. Like,
efforts.
So when we were kids, no one wore earplugs at concerts. No one wore helmets while biking, and no one wore helmets on the ski hill. But today, it is much more common practice.
Much more common practice. And even kids that go to concerts, or parents that bring their kids to concerts, and they'll wear earplugs in some capacity because they recognize that this is a loud environment and you can't undo this, or it's very, very difficult to undo hearing loss. I appreciate it. I don't.
Do you think you ever will?
Never is a strong word, Brant. It's also appropriate. No, I will never wear hearing protection.
Yeah.
What will likely happen is I'll have to wear hearing aids in the not too distant future, and then I'll just turn those down.
That's a good idea. That's what my grandpa would do all the time. If he didn't want people in the house bugging him, he'd just turn his hearing aids down.
Let's turn this episode into the benefits of hearing loss.
Oh, the benefits of hearing loss.
This will be a very short segment of our podcast.
My grandma would just be screaming his name. Oh, and he'd be like, I just had him down. It's like, of course you did.
What?
Of course you did.
And that concludes this segment of the benefits of hearing loss.
Oh, that's great.
Question. What am I missing out on? Question mark. The effect that hearing loss has on others. And I think when we talked about this, it was like, oh boy, that's such kind of a selfish statement. Like, what is my hearing loss? How does that have an effect on others? Or in another way, your hearing loss has an effect on me. Well, that's kind of a selfish way to put it. However, when we turned it around and said, if you want to be an effective listener, which is the point of this podcast, if you want to be an effective listener, make sure that you can hear and go through that part of this is gradual hearing loss. What are the indicators that you may have lost your hearing or have had an effect on your ability to hear others? And how do you test that? Well, hey, here's some awareness piece right now, right? Like go out, click on the link, find a hearing test, do it at home and go, okay, no, I'm good. Right. Or if, there's been a lot of cases recently, or I cannot hear what people are saying, or I've been told that I'm not a very good listener and I thought I always was. Maybe it's not just what's happening in my head, but it's I can't actually hear them. So that's the whole purpose behind this episode as we jump back in to another season of I'm Listening.
And it's really looking at enjoying the quality of life.
For sure.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start wearing my ear protection that I use for mowing the lawn when I'm around my kids.
Yeah.
I think
that's really
that
a great
would probably
takeaway, Brant.
protect my
I think
hearing. I don't have hearing aids like my grandpa to turn them down, so I'm just going to put on.
Yeah, no. If you is that so that's your take. I'll just tell you that's your takeaway of this episode is when I'm around others, I'm absolutely going to wear hearing protection.
There you go.
Hearing protection.
What's your takeaway of this?
My takeaway is I don't know the last time I took a hearing test. I don't remember. It was likely through the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah.
It was likely way more than 10 years ago, even though I do have a valid driver's license. And what has occurred, even with my eyesight, if I can compare it to that, what has occurred with my eyesight, has that also occurred with my hearing. And again, this gradual sensation of losing your hearing or having hearing being affected. Take a quick test.
Yeah.
It's online. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you that you need to take a hearing test. You can do it right now. You can do it right now and go, is this an issue? And that's my takeaway. My takeaway is you can do it right now. You can check on your hearing. You can see if your hearing is weakening your ability to listen to others. And how is that having a negative effect, potential negative effect in your surroundings of being a good listener?
Yeah, we'll post the link to the hearing test that Drew took today. There are also a lot of other hearing tests as well that will not just look at the frequencies and tones, the hertz and the decibels that Drew was just looking at, but there are tests too that will look at, can you hear in a crowded room? So there are, different tests out there that are really fun to take. Fun. I say fun. They're interesting. There are other tests out there to take if you're interested in learning.
Are you looking
more.
for a good time? How about hearing tests?
Hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to go do a hearing test?
Are you looking for a new party theme? How about hearing tests?
Oh, this will be great.
This is so much fun.
Shh, quiet. They're trying to listen. Oh, gosh.
What? Gotta
Doing my hearing
having
test.
fun with hearing tests over here.
Oh, jeez.
In the description of this podcast, you will find more information and a list of any of the sources that we used.
This podcast is created and produced by Drew Richmond and Brant Christofferson. Editing by me, and the I'm Listening theme music by Drew.
That's me.
That's you.
Brant, I will talk to you later, my friend.
We'll see you next time.
Yeehaw.
Have a good one, Drew.
Bye, Brant.